But what are we talking about when we say, you can hold it if you want to. What are we really talking about? Because we're talking about the dog food versus the real food, which is the raw meat, the chicken, especially. We're talking about a breeder. And a real breeder is not what you have today available everywhere. Here in this place, if I put Pitbull puppies near me, I'm going to find 100 breeders around me. They all call themselves breeders, but I'm the only breeder. And I explain to you what the difference is. The difference is that when we were cavemen, our great-great-great-grandparents were cavemen, the first biomechanics, it's not even the biomechanics, the first biotechnology they ever had, it was the wolf. And it happens simultaneously in different parts of Europe. Either a lonely wolf that went away from the pack, or puppies that the mother died and puppies came to them and they fed them. They didn't reject them. And they found them first because it was cold. It was the ice age, coming out of the ice age. So they'll keep them to stay warm. As they grow up, they find out that these animals had a tremendous sense of protection because they were the puppies out of the litter that were more human. They bound with human more. A Russian, I'm going to make a parenthesis, a Russian real breeder was commissioned by a Russian Tsar to create out of a fox that was really aggressive. And she loved them so much because they were so beautiful, orange colors. In Russia, you cannot believe these animals, they look like from another planet. So she says, I want them to be with me and not bite me. And so they got this real tough guy, scientist breeder, to work with this animal, to make them docile. And so he started working with them, and after 50 years of working with them, he had two groups of foxes. Out of every leader, the one, because he was smart, so he wanted to prove himself. Out of every leader, everyone that was aggressive, he was kept on one side, and everyone was docile, kept on one side. So the ones that were aggressive, he kept them on an open place, and they all never lost their essence. They were still aggressive, they were still savage, and the ones that he made docile, after the next 2-3 liters, the ears flapped and the colors, the puppies started to come out with different colors. So he was going to lose, they were going to kill him. Because what she wanted was the orange color, the top ears like this, and he was going to lose everything. But he said, look, when you make them docile, this is what you get. They change, they mutate everything. Yeah. But when you make them, you keep them natural, you get that color. The moment the human intervene on them, something changes. Yeah. That was a real breeder. So when the caveman took the wolf came for protection. That wolf later became a dog. Just an animal that was not looking like the wolf anymore. It was looking like those foxes that mutated. And so they kept these dogs. And someone said, we have a necessity to have a dog that can help us to sheep the herd, all the sheep. So we need a shepherd. And they started to create a dog that was the ancestors of the German shepherds and the Australian shepherds. The pharaohs, they wanted a fast running animal that they can make bets among themselves, the families, royal families. So they had these men in society. So society used to have a medicine man, iron man, agriculture man, and also they had a breeder. Being a breeder was part of society as a functional necessity to create an animal that will help them. So they created a bloodhound and so on and so forth. So what we needed was an animal that could do that. And so they always fed him whatever the wolves were eating all the time. They never changed. So they didn't have dogs that died with cancer, and they didn't have any problems. So the breeders will go to create a dog, that dog into different forms of an animal that one day becomes a specific breed. Sometimes they cross, because it's not perfect, the breed's not perfect. This breed with this breed to create a breed that's better than these two elements. And then after this, you get bloodlines. What is a bloodline? You already have an animal called half and a half pit fighting dog in America on the 1800s. but they want to create the finest fighting animal. And they started to create bloodlines. We had a particular man that will tailor these dogs to have a particular trails to make them the best fighting dog in the world. But that man had a signature in it because he was going to reject and accept and reject and accept. And finally he was going to be polishing some genetics and come to a position that when he goes to the pit to fight the dog, that dog was a better fighter. So when you have a better fighter, you have a dog that has better biomechanics, can move faster, can wrestle, can bite harder, whatever. But something else was going on that they didn't understand what happens, and today we know through technology. What happens is those dogs were going through a process called epigenetics. And epigenetics is also what happened to the foxes. That's why I told the story with the foxes. What happens is these dogs are the only breed in the history of humanity where an animal was exposed to extreme conditions of pain, extreme conditions of you can quit if you want to. And the animal said, I won't quit. But they were not quitting because they didn't want to quit, but also they were not quitting because of the men. They wanted to be so loyal to the men. Encouraged with broken legs, the men will release them and they'll go fight. And when they'll go home in America, Operation America in the 1800s, there were no veterinarians around the corner. The mother will have to be the veterinarian. The children will have to work with them. And the dog that was a winner or real game dog, they'll still nurture him and love him. So this process of epigenetics made that dog, the next puppies they'll have courage, loyalty, which are two words that go together. And these animals will be close to the father in terms of his thinking and in terms of loyalty. And when you breed the best male and the best female with those qualities, you get a dog that has everything. Has the biomechanics to fight, has everything. That's why I call dogs of velvet and dogs of steel, because the velvet is this. You understand? You can keep it this way all your life. But let's say she was a fighting person. They'll take the dog and fight the dog. That dog will fight till her death, this puppy, and it'll be the type of dog that can get her in trouble in today's society. Back in the 1800s, she will not be in no trouble. Back in the early 1900s, she will be in no trouble. But society changed. But they could be as loyal as you ever need them. With zero human aggression. One of the qualities of a dog that they discovered was this. Back in the 1800s, back to the 1900s, was this. Let me explain to you. If a dog is aggressive towards humans at any point, any try to hurt you for any condition, especially under extreme pressure, he bites you, that dog is a coward. The real game dog will never try to hurt you. And that goes along with loyalty, that goes along with courage. And you find the same qualities on an MMA fighter like or UFC first UFC champion, jiu-jitsu master, Hoist Gracie, which he will never look for trouble, but if trouble looks for him, they will get smashed by him. And he's the sweetest guy you can come. I went to see him in California, and the moment we walked into his door, he says, "Can I cook for you?" I said, "What?" He said, "I want to cook for you. I have a deer that I cut a few days ago. I want to cook for you." Nicest guy in the world. So what a real breeder is not what you find. You're looking at the only real breeder you'll ever see in your life. There's no more breeders. What you have in America, you have people that think that dogs are like toys, and they have, like, they go to a restaurant, all different breeds, all different whatever. We can mix them the way we want to, and they were already created. They have no idea how they were created, and they want to make them for one function only, pets only. So you take a hard-working dog, and you want him to behave like a poodle. You want him to behave like a Frenchie, like a lap dog. And that is a problem in America. Yeah. So you have the profiteers. I could have been selling blue Pitbulls back in 1996, where you could sell them for $10,000, $15,000, and they were buying Pitbulls for $1,000, for $500, the so-called Pitbull mutts, and people didn't know the difference between my dogs and those dogs. But I hold my ground because I wasn't doing it for profits. I was doing it because I wanted to have a project to save the American Pitbull Terrier, take it to the next level, and pass it on to great families before the breed dies, because the breed will die. But that's why I don't want you to breed her. Yeah. Because if you breed her, you'll be the first sucker that destroyed all the work that I had done in my 34 years. And that's not a single dog in Louisiana or Texas that you can breed this dog to that will satisfy the level of quality that she is. It might satisfy the level of quality that somebody wants to have, but that someone wants to have is the same low level quality that everyone else failed with. You got that?
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
But you understand the concept,
Oh yeah.
and that's why they call themselves breeders, but they're not real breeders.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
And so you're getting a $10,000-$15,000 dog. I'm hoping that in a few years that'll be the price of these puppies, and you're buying it at a very low price.